So we're considering getting a second car, and we're probably going to get a second-hand one because they're obviously cheaper. We've got about a £10,000 limit, and that means it's pretty much between the Renault Zoe and the Nissan LEAF. And we used to have a Nissan LEAF and we loved it, so we would love to get one of those again. But I have never driven a Zoe, and neither has my wife. So this is a great opportunity to see if it's as good as everyone says it is, because a lot of people love their Zoes. This is quite an old model, and I forget what it is now. ZE40, there's so many models. ZE40 Dynamique, something like that. R90. And yeah, let's take it for a spin and see what it's like. Did you do the handbrake?
No.
Yeah, I did the same thing and wondered why it was going so slowly.
But why do they put a handbrake in a electric car?
This is my first time in a Renault Zoe, so you know, I'm quite excited really, because this is like one of the unsung heroes really of the EV world. This and the Nissan LEAF were trendsetters really. And what's great about this is that, I mean, now we have this kind of penchant for SUVs. Every other EV being released at the moment is an SUV, and this came out, and it's a small car with decent range. And yeah, so this might be a potential candidate for a second car. We're looking for a second car under £10,000. It's probably going to be a Renault Zoe or a Nissan LEAF. There are kind of more unusual ones like the Citroen C0 and things like that, or the Mitsubishi IONIQ, but is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. But it's going to be a Zoe or a Nissan LEAF, I think. So we've already had the Nissan LEAF before. That's what we had before the e-Niro. Loved that car, and would quite happily get one again. It would be like having an old friend back with us. So, but Zoe, I thought it was a good time to try out the Zoe. So, what should I say so far? First of all, it's quite a nice driving position. You feel quite high. The dash is relatively low, so the visibility is pretty good. It reminds me how good it is having a small car. The thing that confused me initially is that it's a proper old mechanical handbrake, which I wasn't expecting. But yeah, it certainly feels familiar. It feels like a normal car, other than it being electric, of course. It's quite smooth, as you would expect. Well, let's get driving and I'll give you my thoughts. Now, this doesn't have CarPlay or Android Auto, because this is an old one. This is 2017, and they didn't have CarPlay then. The new one does. So it's time to input it on the sat-nav. A bit of a festival of scratchy plastic, but it's a relatively inexpensive car, so you would expect that. Let's try using the sat-nav. So, pretty awful music there, right? Okay, so let's click that. Now, I've never used this before, so I've no idea what I'm doing. So bear with me. Of course, if you are... Oh, no, that's magnify. No, what did I do? No. No route plan. Okay, do you want a plan? Yes, I do. So I want to go to an address, city postcode. Well, okay, well I'm going to type in, oops, if I could type, Chatham, Canterbury, Chatham Centre, yeah, why not? Okay, well, select. So 47 minutes, 32.8 miles, and yeah, so let's see how accurate it is. There's some motorway driving involved. So if it's saying 161 miles now and it takes 33 miles to get there, I'm going to say it's probably going to be about 120 miles, I reckon. But let's see what the efficiency is like. So we got the route, we're heading to Chatham, and mechanical handbrake off, and then let's go into reverse. You get quite a lot of beeps on this. Now this is the Dynamique spec, which doesn't have a reversing camera, but I believe there is a spec that does. I think the Dynamique Nav. But so many different specifications you can option this with, or you can find, of the Zoe, and it's a bit of a minefield, to be honest. let's go then. Let's see how good the sat nav is. Into drive. There doesn't appear to be another setting for regen. So I think you just have to put up with whatever it's got. As you would expect, being an electric car, it feels quite nippy. Even though the 0 to 60 on this is something like 11 seconds, I would say. Why are you beeping at me? Why are you beeping? I don't know why it's beeping. I think it might be, maybe that's saying that there's a speed camera or something like that. I'm really liking the visibility. It feels quite high up. I think my wife would like it because she likes it when you're a bit high up. It gets a bit confusing. You've got the ZE40, this is the ZE40, you've now got the ZE50. And with that you've got the R110, which is the new one, or 110 if you want to call it that, the R110. This one, you could get the R90 or the Q90. The R and the Q correspond to how fast you can charge the battery. R is rapid, Q is quick. What's the difference? You know, is it rapid or quick? Well, I would, you know, which would you say is faster? Because I think the quick is the faster one. I think that's the faster. So I think you can charge with the quick. You can charge on a 43 kilowatt AC charger. On the R, you're limited to 22 kilowatts. You're looking at about an hour and a half charge on a 22 kilowatt charger. Now they're much more common because 43 kilowatt AC charging is a rarity, and I think it's only found in the Zoe. Generally, most EVs, if they've got fast AC charging, they'll max out at 22 kilowatts. So that's what you tend to find most of all now. So I'm now on the motorway, so let's see how this does. It feels a little bit juddery on my feet. I feel like there's a little bit of shake going on. But other than that, it's relatively smooth. Quite a bit of road noise, not too much different really from my e-Niro. There's a strange thing with the power of this car, because sometimes I feel like there isn't any, and then sometimes it feels like actually it's got a little bit of punch to it. But I've got to say, so far I'm really liking it. I mean, it's a relatively simple EV. It's, you know, if you can find one of these for about £10,000, you'd be really happy, I think. The Zoe is a ground-up EV, so hats off to Renault for actually doing a proper EV a long time ago when most others weren't. And it being a ground-up EV, that means there's quite a lot of cabin space for the size of the car, and the boot is surprisingly big, which makes it much more practical than you would think. The front of the Zoe looks like a cheeky stormtrooper in white. You've got a little bit of an angry kind of feline look. The side view is quite sporty. There's a nice crease coming all the way here. The rear is not my favourite view, a bit bulbous, but yeah, it's fine. Open the boot, let's have a look inside there. Let's just do some measurements. It actually goes down a little bit, but with the seats up, you've got 69 centimetres, just about 27 inches that way. And in terms of width, you've got 102 centimetres and 40 inches. But there is this kind of lip down. So in this part here, you've got, to the parcel shelf, you've got about 59 centimetres, 23.5 inches. We're in the country now, so there's a lot of very noisy diesels. So there's a button here and a button there, press them both. And then the seat goes down. It goes down a bit, not very much. It's not very flat at all, as you can see. It kind of looks like it's going to come off. But to the front seat, we have about 138 centimetres, 54.5 inches. You've got a normal kind of gear selector here, push the button there, push it back, park, reverse, neutral, drive. Eco button just reduces the throttle a little bit, the throttle response. It doesn't increase regen, as far as I can tell. Remember, this is all, I'm talking about this old model. New ones, I think, have much better regen. or at least controllable regen. This system here, it's called IONIQ apparently. It's a pretty clear system. Navigation, multimedia, phone, so you can attach your phone with Bluetooth. Vehicle, it's got lots of settings that you can play with. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to go through all these settings now, but you've got multimedia for your radio and video. Video? Really? Yeah, you can play video on here. That's kind of cool, with USB or an SD card. An SD card goes in there. Well, that's quite cool, I think. And it looks like you can add apps and things like that. But yeah, I mean, actually the navigation is pretty good. The navigation system is pretty good. I did use that on the way here. And the screens are clear, that's all good. All your air conditioning knobs are all the same as any other car, really. And you do have cruise control. And of course you've got your 12-volt socket here. And one USB. Not much else to talk about really in here. Seat adjustment at the front, and at the side here it's kind of a normal old car sort of style thing. Handbrake, obviously. You've got you don't actually have very much on the steering wheel itself, but you can change the radio and media controls you do have here on this little bit here. Other than that, it feels fairly open and it's nice enough. It doesn't feel premium at all, but then it's not a premium car. The back doors are opened with this little handle here. People, I suppose it's done to be aerodynamic, but it is a bit harder, I suppose, for certainly children to open up. I've got the seat in front set to my driving position. I'm 5'11", so it's quite, my knees are just touching there. In terms of headspace, it's not too bad, I suppose, for a small car. I've got that much space. What's that? A couple of inches, a few centimetres. In the back there are electric windows which would work if the car was on. Not much else to talk about. You've got a seat pocket here. It looks like you do have ISOFIX, and it's not too bad really in the back. It's okay. It's comfortable enough. The seats are alright, a bit firm, but yeah, it's alright. And there is at the back here, there is a drinks holder which is quite useful for the passengers at the back. It is just a 4-seater, I think. No? No, it's not. So it is a 5-seater. The other seatbelt comes in from up here. And you do have a bit of room in the door there for, I don't know, probably just chocolate wrappers if it's anything like our car. Quite a nice little feature is on the remote, you do have a button to activate the climate control inside, which I'm assuming it's just done. I don't know how close I've got to get. Yeah, I mean, I had to get quite close actually to get that started, but you can hear the fans are going. I mean, I had to get so close to the car, in fact, that I might as well have just unlocked it and got in. But anyway, it's there if you need it. It might work behind glass inside, I'm not sure. It's quite a noisy fan, isn't it? What else can I say about this car then? Because, I mean, it's so simple. It looks like it's got voice commands. If I press that, does it do anything?
What would you like to do?
Oh, nothing, thank you. My mistake. When you're driving, there's no consumption information, so it's not like I can see on most other EVs how many kilowatt hours I'm using. So I don't have that. But all I can say is I've got 21 miles to go and I've got 145 miles on range. The screen in front is very clear. And so is the sat-nav. For a small car you would expect it to feel lighter, but of course it is an electric car, so it has got a heavy battery underneath. But it drives fine. It's not like it feels too cumbersome. My wife and I have to decide then whether we get one of these or the LEAF. And we have discussed it very briefly, but my wife likes the idea of getting one of these because whatever car we get will probably be quite big. The new car to replace the e-Niro is going to be quite big, I think. Who knows what it's going to be yet, but you know, it might be the ID4, the VW ID4, it might be the IONIQ 5 from Hyundai, or it might be the Kia EV6, or whatever. It might be a Cybertruck. That's not going to happen, is it? So whatever it's going to be quite big. It makes sense to have a small little nippy city car like this. But this isn't even a city car. I wouldn't even say this is really a city car. It's actually just a small car. The range is really good. Now the range in this, bearing in mind this came out in 2017, when you think that there are cars like the Honda E or the Mazda MX-30 that are only kind of coming out now. Honda E's been out for a little while, but I mean in the past couple of years that have worse ranges than this. Substantially worse ranges than this. It really makes you appreciate just how good this is and what a bargain it is. So, you know, I know I'm saying it's a bit noisy and things. You know, it doesn't have all the gadgets that you might want and whatever else, but it's, you know, it's a really good, simple EV. And we don't have enough good, simple EVs. The Volkswagen e-Up and the Citigo, the Skoda Citigo, and the other one that I'm thinking is Seat Mi Electric. They don't even make them anymore. They decided to withdraw them. And that was another nice, simple little car. And we don't have enough of those. Not everyone wants a big SUV. If you want a small car, you've got the Mini Electric, you've got the Corsa E, the Honda E, of course, you've got the Fiat 500e. But they're all very expensive new cars. So if you're looking for a second-hand car, the Zoe really does make a lot of sense. And even if you're looking for a new car, the Zoe makes more sense than a lot of other new cars coming out at the moment. Into park, handbrake on. Can't get used to the handbrake thing. Right, okay, so 126 miles we've got then. That's about what I expected, isn't it, I think? So nice being in a car when it's raining. So yeah, I really like it. I think as a small car it's fantastic. The thing to do now is to find out what my wife thinks of the car, because she's the most important person in the family, as you know, when it comes to making a decision. Okay.
It's raining, look out.
Okay. So this is Flaviana, right, this is the Zoe, and we're going to see if you like the car.
Okay. How do I let the seat go forward?
It's at the front.
Well, a normal,
Yeah.
automatic thing.
No, this is quite bare bones, this car, really.
So it's like a normal car.
Yep.
Even with this.
Yeah, so...
I never thought I'd see this again.
Yeah, so one of those, and even a normal handbrake. I know, right?
Okay. So, tell me. Start here, or is that the radio?
No, that's the radio.
Okay.
Let's turn that down. No, it's the start-stop button, it's there.
Ah. And
then you just put that back into reverse, is the first one down.
a bit smaller. Park, reverse, neutral, a drive.
Yep.
So how do I go to drive?
Yeah, all the way back. You just put it all the way back.
So what, it is again like a normal car?
It's like a normal... Yeah.
Automatic?
Yeah.
Do I have to press the thing at the back or no?
Sorry, yeah, you push that in, yeah.
So let me just see. A neutral, that, and drive.
Yep.
Neutral, reverse, park.
Yep.
Reverse. Let's see. Oh gosh.
Did you do the handbrake?
No.
Yeah, I did the same thing and wondered why it was going so slowly.
But why do they put a handbrake in a electric car?
Because it's a cheap one. Well, it's cheaper, anyway.
And drive. Is there regenerative braking?
I think that it feels like there's a tiny bit, but not very much.
Okay, it seems nice.
Yeah, driving position.
Nice.
Quite
Very high.
Feels quite high up, doesn't
Yeah.
it? For a little car.
Yeah, very close to the front, but it's a small car. It's fine. Yes, regenerative braking. I don't feel it working.
It does a
I
bit.
feel it like a normal car. Can you put it to a higher level?
No.
Really?
No.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I know.
Because the Leaf, you could put it
I know.
to a higher level.
I was desperately looking for something that had that. I don't think it does.
E allora no.
Really?
I'm also disturbed by this indicator noise. Sounds like a sick bird or something. Is it cheaper than the Leaf?
Yeah, that's the thing. Second hand, no, it's not. But the range is much more.
What, this is the more than the Leaf?
Actually, yeah.
Really? Tell me how much.
This is the problem is that Renault Zoes, they used to do them with battery leases. So you used to be able to buy the car cheap, and then you would have to pay Renault £45 a month or something to lease the battery, and it was their way of getting you a car cheap. So it means that a lot of the second-hand Zoes, they may seem cheap, but you still have to pay £45 a month minimum to Renault.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it makes sense in some ways in that.
£40 a month.
Yeah, minimum. Yeah, 45, and that's based on 6,000 miles a year. It might even be less than that. I can't remember. But it's based on your annual mileage going up to 110.
So why are you saying this? That it doesn't make sense then to get a Zoe if you have to pay that on top?
Well, you can get them second hand that own the battery. So when you're looking in the second hand things, some of them are battery owned and some are battery lease. Far more battery leases by the looks of it. So what you're getting, the difference is, so the Leaf is a higher, it feels more fancy inside, I think, the Leaf. Do you remember it? I mean, it's the same as the Nero, really.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like, very retro, Spartan.
Spartan is Spartan, yeah. But it's like a normal small, like a little Renault Clio or something, or your old Ford Ka, something like that. I mean, it's the same sort of.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe a bit better, but not far off. Whereas the Leaf, we had the top spec of the Leaf at the time, and it just felt a bit more premium.
Look, I have to press the brake. I haven't pressed the brake for ages in this bit of road. I think the best thing of an electric car is the regen braking. That makes me use the brake less, and if it doesn't have that, then what's the point? No, I don't like it.
Okay.
By the way, I'm doing this video as an exception because in the Christmas video I've received a lot of insults and I said I'm never gonna do a video again. So if I receive another insult, Piagno, this is the last video I will ever do. I don't like insults. I am quite confident, but I don't see why I should put myself out there to be insulted by these idiots on YouTube.
You know the latest one?
No.
I won't tell you.
Tell me.
Yeah, they just said divorce her.
On that still on the Christmas.
On the Christmas video. Can you believe that? Divorce her.
Well, I do understand, but I'm also being a bit extreme because it's nice to see the drama in a video. Otherwise, all these videos are so nice, and who cares? It's not fun. So yeah, I mean, divorce her. Yes, I understand. I probably would say the same because I'm a bit bitch, But it's just the fun. Who wants a relationship where the woman is just yes,
Not me.
Yes, you're right. Yes, let's get you decide the car. I don't care. You know. You need. But it depends on the man as well, I guess. But you know, I think it's fun to have a woman.
Who has their own. That speaks their own mind.
Yeah, not only, but also in a rough way. Just makes it a bit more entertaining.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, the problem is that English people are not used to it. Because for Italians, I would be normal.
Yeah. Oh, you're quite easygoing, really, for an Italian.
Yeah.
Right.
It would be normal the way I speak. Because you see, in Italy, we don't say thank you, we don't say please. When I came to England, all this thank you, please, please, can you get me water? Please, can you do that? Please. Or, you know, thank you. In Italy, we just say, can you pass me the water? Never say thank you, never say please. It's just the question already has, you know, the request already means thank you and please. But here in England, you are too polite, and that's why also I appear a bit rough around the edges, because people are not used to that sort of thing.
Yes. Anyway, for everyone actually watching this to learn about cars.
Well, it's good that they get a little bit of cultural
I suppose so, yeah.
aspect as well.
Anyway, remember the handbrake.
And don't cut these parts off, because I know you.
No.
You always cut me
I
off.
wouldn't dream of it. You're still in reverse as well.
What happens? Let's see. Nothing happens.
Well, I'll still put it in park just in case.
It says P.
No, that's the parking brake, but your P, you've still got P at the top here that needs
Anyway,
to.
you really have to get used to, because these things are so small. They should have made them a bit more evident.
What do you think of the seat comfort, by the way? Just the general comfort?
That's nice.
Yeah?
It's okay. I mean, I don't like that I have to turn this wheel.
No, I know, but it is.
And the
What?
back seems very small. Aurelia is not gonna be pleased. We want a second-hand car. We just want a second car for in case we need it. Just as an emergency car that we're barely gonna use. You know?
Yeah.
Just if you need to go somewhere and I need to go somewhere else, which almost never happens. But just in case, we don't want to rely on a taxi or anything. So it's just nice to have. And if it costs just 5,000.
It's probably going to be more than that.
Perché?
Yeah, well.
No, not more than that. I'm not spending more than 5,000 on a second-hand car. Also, what's ugly smell they put in it?
Yeah.
These things are still existing.
I know, right? It was like picking up a car from the 80s.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know how to drive this thing.
I think the thing that bothers me the most is the smell. So already when I step inside the car that smells like this, I'm put off by it. So the poor Zoe already had a disadvantage before even starting. But yes, the lack of regenerative braking, blah blah blah, yes, we don't get it.
Okay.
The review over.
So, Precious. Which do you prefer? Kia or this?
Kia.
Kia, okay. Why?
Because Kia is bigger.
Because Kia's bigger. Oh, okay. So the plan is then, Piccolo, we have to say goodbye to Kia next month. This time next month we won't have Kia.
No!
And then we've got to decide what to get. So we're probably going to get the 500, the Fiat 500 electric.
Yes, I want. That is
Yay!
the best car.
See!
But we still need a second car as well.
3 cars.
Well, no. So we'll have the Fiat. Even when we got Fiat, we'll still need a second car. So it's between this
One
or
for Mum and one for you.
yeah. So between this or a Leaf.
Folia.
Folia. You want Folia? Okay, Leaf.
Leaf is your car. Cinquecento is Mama's car.
Yes!
But then
We
Piccola.
need another car.
Yes. And you know what happens then, Piccola?
We need to decide another car.
Hyundai, you're in reverse now. Hyundai IONIQ 5. Piccola. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and press the bell icon. I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, anyway. So we're not going to get a Zoe. That's the point of this video. We'll look for a Nissan LEAF. A second-hand Nissan LEAF.
So if any of you have a blue or light blue one and want to sell it to Mystery V and you will be featured in one of his videos.
God, right, okay. Thank you very much for watching.
Bye!
Bye for now.